Hey everybody, welcome to History University. My name is Tom and I will be your educator for this video. You guys have asked me multiple times about my favorite history books, and every time I'm asked, I reply with the same book, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. I firmly believe that this book has changed the way I think and view the world, and because of the profound effect it had on me, I always recommend it to other people. I realized that for some people, 400 pages is a huge commitment, so I wanted to break down a synopsis of the book in a shorter period of time so you can still learn it without investing all of your precious time. If you are on the fence about reading this book, hopefully this synopsis will persuade you to pick up a copy. I am going to make a video for each of the chapters so you guys don't miss anything too important. I will then piece together 4 different videos, one for each of the 4 parts: the cognitive revolution, the agricultural revolution, the unification of humankind, and the scientific revolution. Now, the one thing I want to mention before starting is taxonomic rank. In biology, organisms are classified between their domain, kingdom, phylum, order, class, family, genus, and species. The further down this chart you go, the more specific you get. For example, there is a genus called Canis, and multiple species belong to the genus. Both the Canis lupus, which is known as the gray wolf, and the Canis latrans, or the coyote, belong to this genus. But we recognize that the coyote and gray wolf are 2 different species. They just happen to be related by the same genus Canis. If we look at our own species, we are Homo sapiens. Currently today, there is no other species in the Homo genus, but there used to be. For example, the Homo Neanderthal is extinct, but it belonged to the Homo genus. And the non-scientific term for Homo is human. So the Neanderthal is technically a human, but it is not the same Homo sapiens species as us. So the way that we viewed the gray wolf and the coyote as being related in the same genus is the same way that we would view Homo sapiens as the same genus as the Homo Neanderthals. Now in this video, I will use the term human to refer to other species of human that are not the Homo sapiens. This is a little weird and unsettling for some people, but it is the terminology that the author Yuval Noah Harari uses. So throughout the book, he uses the term human in references to species that are not the Homo sapiens. Alright, now that that is out of the way, let's dive into part 1, the cognitive revolution. Chapter 1, an animal of no significance. About 2.5 million years ago, humans evolved from a genus known as Australopithecus in East Africa. About 2 million years ago, these humans decided to settle in areas of North Africa, Europe, and Asia. The geographic regions that they spread out to were drastically different. The ways to survive in a freezing cold northern European forest is totally different than the way one would survive in the tropical jungles of Asia. As a result of the different environments, the humans evolved in ways that helped them survive in their current climate. We then start to see new humans emerge. In Eurasia, we see the Homo Neanderthal. These humans are bulkier and more muscular than the modern-day Homo sapiens. In Asia, we see the human Homo erectus pop up. The name literally means upright human, referring to the new posture that the erectus had adapted. These different humans spent years of evolving on their own, but one thing that kind of happened to all of them was that they adopted a straighter posture. The evolutionary perk behind a straighter posture is believed to help humans scan their environment better than their great ape relative. We can look at apes today and see how they walk on their hands and feet. This isn't necessarily too great for vision. Now, in order to stand upright, humans needed wider hips, which allowed for them to carry their upper bodies in a more efficient way. Interestingly enough, the wider hips allowed for larger heads to come out of the birth canal, which subsequently led to the growth in brain size. As humans started to walk upright, they also started to have bigger brains. Our brains are a key part of our success today, but for the early humans, their environment may not have been best suited for a big brain. Sure, the modern day human could beat a lion in a debate on the laws of physics, but a brain doesn't really help you fight off a lion one-on-one. So the development of a big brain may not have been as evolutionarily needed as we think, but just a side effect of being able to walk upright. We also know that these humans were only eating plants and nuts at the time. So while their new brains might have been able to help them create tools like a spear, they were not quite using them yet. And there is no evidence of any hunting up until about 1.5 million years ago. About 800,000 years ago, we believe that some human species incorporated the use of fire. But it is not until we fast forward another 500,000 years do we realize that early humans started to use fire on a daily basis. Undoubtedly, fire was the game changer for the human species. It provided light, warmth, and weaponry to fight off predators. But the most important thing that it did for humans was cooking. When cooked, wheat, rice, and meat became softer and easily chewable. The modern chimpanzee may spend up to 5 hours just chewing raw meat. But with fire, early humans were able to cook meat, making it more easy to chew. And it also helped kill bacteria and germs that were on the meat. Around this time, we also see the human brain grow again, as they had more nutrition to feed their brain. Today, about 60% of the energy we consume goes to fuel our brains. So being able to eat new types of foods really helps the brain grow. The control of fire really separated humans from the other animals. We were now able to work productively at night, stay warm on cold evenings, fend off predators, and most importantly, cook. After millions of years of human evolution, we can confirm by 150,000 years ago, the modern Homo sapien is settled in East Africa. Now, so far in this video, we traveled over 2 million years since the first mention of humans. So 70,000 years ago is a pretty short time. Yet all of these other humans that we mentioned, like the Homo Neanderthal and the Homo erectus, are no longer around. So what happened to them? Initially, two theories emerged: the replacement theory and the interbreeding theory. The interbreeding theory states that humans started to interbreed with each other. So the Sapiens bred with Neanderthals in parts of Europe, and then in Asia we see the Sapiens start to breed with the erectus. And that is the explanation for why humans look a little different, because we all descended from different types of humans. The replacement theory rejects that notion. They claim that perhaps the Neanderthal just died off naturally, or maybe it was a genocide that was committed by the Homo sapiens. Proponents of the replacement theory would claim that the Neanderthal and sapiens were not biologically compatible, so there would be no way for them to reproduce together, like the interbreeding theory suggests. So hypothetically, if there was a Neanderthal Romeo and a sapien Juliet, they would not have been biologically compatible enough to produce a child. The notion today is that it is somewhat of a combination of these two theories. It turns out in 2010, after DNA testing, Europeans have around 1 to 4% of Neanderthal DNA, and the Aboriginals of Australia have about 6% Denisovan DNA, which is another early human. Biologically speaking, these other species of humans were not too far removed from us, and close enough to reproduce with our own species. It is important to note though, the species did not merge. Yes, some Neanderthals were able to reproduce with sapiens, but the entire Neanderthal species did not converge into modern humans by breeding with them. So how did they actually go extinct? Well, we don't really have a concrete answer for that. Some suggest that it could have been a genocide committed by the Homo sapiens. Most people don't rule out the idea of a genocide. Just look at how we treat modern humans of different ethnicity and races. So it's not unlikely that 70,000 years ago, a more primitive version of humans did something to each other that we still do to each other today. Another theory is that the Homo sapiens had better technology and they were more able to compete for food, while the Neanderthal lagged behind and starved. We are currently still searching for these answers, but it leaves us with a powerful what if. What if these humans were still alive today? How would society treat and view these other humans? Would the book of Genesis in the Bible claim that these humans also descended from Adam and Eve? Would Neanderthals be able to serve in the Roman legions? Would the founders of America declare that all Homo sapiens and Homo Neanderthals were created equal? Whether or not sapiens were responsible for their extinction, they do seem to come in contact with these humans very close to their extinction period. The Homo Denisovan went extinct about 50,000 years ago, the Homo Neanderthal went extinct about 30,000 years ago, and some even claim that the Homo florensis was living as recent as 12,000 years ago. Alright everybody, that concludes Chapter 1. Join us next time for Chapter 2, The Tree of Knowledge. Thank you guys very much for watching, like and subscribe if you can, and I will see you guys next time.